So you're either growing or dying in today's economy because technology is here. So if you don't have a growth mindset, how do you get one? That's what we're going to talk about today as we go through 4 ways that you can get a growth mindset, not only in yourself, but in your business that will permeate all the way throughout your culture. So if we haven't met, I'm Andy Smith. I have been building businesses for 20 years, have bootstrapped businesses to 8-figure exits, have acquired companies, and then exited them to strategic partners, and love the game of entrepreneurship because I believe it's how we change the world as founders. So let's dive right in. When you launch a business, you have a ton of excitement, you have energy, you have just basically everything you want to do to build the business. But then all of a sudden, it gets to a certain point. It stops, it slows, growth stagnates. And that happens sometimes around 5 million, sometimes around 10 million. And when that happens, this is our unique opportunity to turn on the growth mindset. That's where most founders are not doing it. Most founders are not igniting themselves, reinventing themselves. And today, that's required in today's market because guess what? New entrepreneurs or technology are going to disrupt, kill your business. So here are the 4 ways that we as founders, as leaders, can instill a growth mindset into ourselves that will then permeate into our companies. So the 4 things we're going to talk about today are curiosity, adaptability, feedback, and discipline. But let's first talk what is a growth mindset. So a fixed mindset is one that basically says your abilities are set, your limits are set, you're only as smart as you're going to get, and you can't grow or do anything different. An abundance mindset or growth mindset says we operate in a world of abundance. We can learn new skills, we can interact, we can do things like never before. Even if you're an 85-year-old founder, you still can learn, grow, and adapt to be able to change the world, to be able to change your business, to be able to change your culture. So then first growth driver we're going to talk about is curiosity. Curiosity is simply what it says. Our ability to ask why, to want to understand, to want to learn, to want to dive deeper into every situation. When I was a nuclear engineer right out of college, they taught us to question to the void. So ask a question, get an answer, ask another question, keep diving deeper because you're generally curious, not because you're looking to blame anyone, not because you're looking to challenge anyone, not because you're looking to threaten anyone. Simply, you're looking to be curious to understand why. That's what technology innovators are doing today. That's why you see so many young entrepreneurs because, one, they operate with a growth mindset. The world is their oyster. And number 2, they're just curious. They're playing with things. They're testing things. They're innovating without really even knowing it, and sometimes even unintentional because they have insane curiosity. So number 2, adaptability. In today's market, if you are not adapting on a daily basis, on a 30, 60, 90-day basis, on an annual basis, technology will disrupt or destroy your business. Technology will come in and displace your business. New people, new innovators, new entrepreneurs will come in and disrupt your industry. In supply chain industries right now, new innovators are coming in with tech, with apps, with data that old, stale, stagnant companies aren't even looking at, and they're disrupting entire industries. So we've got to be adaptable at every situation. We've got to be willing to change. We've got to be willing to grow. We've got to be willing to appreciate that we can do bigger things and that how we did things in the past is not always how we need to be doing things today. So number 3 is feedback. Feedback. This is us looking in the mirror and asking ourselves, what can we do different? Where can we grow? This is us asking our employees, how can we grow? How can we do better? This is us asking our mentors, our coaches, our founder coaches, our communities, our small groups, how can we be better? Seeking feedback, continuous feedback, because without that feedback, we're operating in a vacuum. We're only as good as our own intentions will allow us to go. This week, we had a board meeting or partner meeting, however you'd like to call it, and each of us came together. Individually, we're okay. Collectively, as a group, we're rock stars because we challenge each other to think bigger, to give us feedback in what we're doing, what's working, what's not working. Keep challenging ourselves so that we can keep adapting and keep staying curious. It's the way we go. Now, number 4, discipline. Discipline is not big burst of activity. Discipline is small daily actions that get us to the goal. Discipline is focus on the things that matter in our business. Discipline is getting up every day with a mindset that we want to improve and do better each individual day by day by day, because 1% better every day is insanely better than trying to grow in chunks. So discipline to do the things we need to do, the small things, the small actions every single day that lead us to where we want to grow. Okay, so once we develop our own growth mindset, here's the beauty. That mindset is going to permeate throughout your team. Your team will see that mindset and they will begin to have their own growth mindset. And when they have a mindset of growth, now we've collectively created a culture of growth. So by you adapting to 4 different drivers individually, now it starts to permeate throughout your culture. It starts to get ingrained in everyone's train of thought. And all of a sudden, the limits come off of your organization and everyone is no longer fixed. Now we are growth oriented. The second thing that's going to happen when you get a growth mindset is it powers decision making. You're not afraid of being wrong anymore. You're not afraid of operating in a silo. You're not afraid of being the bottleneck. You now understand with a growth mindset that sometimes you got to get the right people around you to move mountains, to move rocks, to move boulders that you can't do alone. So many business owners are the bottleneck in their business. They get stuck doing the things they've always done, and innovators, tech come in and disrupt their entire business, and all of a sudden they're left with nothing. When simply a mindset shift of growth changes everything. Now, the third thing, this is the reason you're here today, a mindset of growth not only changes your culture, changes your business. Your business now starts to grow because you've enacted a growth mindset. Some of the best leaders that I work with have such a high growth mindset and are so curious and are so feedback oriented and are so disciplined that permeates to everyone around them. And pretty soon they're only surrounding themselves with growth minded people. Guess what happens when you do that? Your business starts to grow, amplifies, scales, and gets it to a place where you can ultimately have the thing you're seeking free. So just to sum it up, it's very rare that a founder will scale alone. It's very rare that a founder with a limited mindset will get that business past that plateau point. You might start that business, but you're not going to get it past that plateau. So growth mindset, 4 drivers: curiosity, adaptability, feedback, and discipline will not only change you, but it will change your culture, it'll change your way of working, and it'll change your business. All right, so where do you start? What's the takeaway? Pick one driver. Be curious. Seek out some feedback. Open your mind to be a little bit adaptable. Maybe you just start with a simple discipline of doing one thing tomorrow that you haven't done in your business before. It's very simple. Take one step action forward. That fixed mindset over time will turn into a growth mindset. Your culture will change over time, and ultimately your business will grow, scale, and get to a place where you want it to be. Thank you, friends, for being here. My name is Andy Smith. Reach out. Love to talk shop about entrepreneurship, whether you're launching a business, scaling a business, or even if you're getting ready to exit a business. All very different. All benefit with one thing: growth mindset. Thanks, friends.